Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2015 Irrigation Show webinar for potential participants in the Department of Commerce's International Buyer Program in partnership with the Irrigation Association. My name is John Farner. I'm the Government and Public Affairs Director with the Irrigation Association. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view this webinar as we explore the highlights of the 2015 Irrigation Show and why you should attend. So first, I want to talk a little bit about who is the Irrigation Association. The Irrigation Association is the leading membership organization for water management companies and professionals in agriculture, landscape, and golf. The association itself is the national trade association for these companies engaged in the trade of irrigation. To explore more about the Irrigation Association, our mission is simple, and that is to promote efficient irrigation. Our vision is to be the recognized authority on irrigation, and we do that through various ways. First is in advocacy. We participate in government affairs. We promote the benefits of irrigation to the public in our public affairs initiative, and we're heavily engaged in standards and codes, including participation in the International Standards Organization. We also have a core strategic initiative engaged in professional development. Those three areas include education, training, and certification. I'll go more into about this later. And finally, we have core support initiatives, and that is our membership, and that is really where our expertise comes from, involved in irrigation, as well as the Irrigation Show, which I will speak about extensively here soon. So first is education. What does the Irrigation Association have as our expertise? Well, as you can see, we write the book on irrigation. Irrigation's 6th edition is considered the encyclopedia on everything irrigation. Next, we have educational materials such as center pivot design, principles of irrigation, as well as drip and micro irrigation design and management, as well as a plethora of other educational materials engaged in all aspects of irrigation. We also have certifications that are available to folks both nationally and internationally, including certified irrigation designer, as well as a certified agricultural irrigation specialist. Now, these are two of our core certifications focused on agricultural irrigation, and that's what I'm going to focus on here during this webinar. First, our certified irrigation designer. These folks can evaluate site conditions and determine water availability and use requirements, select the most effective irrigation equipment methods and materials for the application, develop efficient and cost-effective irrigation designs that meet the plant or crop's watering requirements, prepare comprehensive plans and specifications that include construction details, equipment or materials, as well as appropriate irrigation schedules. Ensure the installation matches the design intent. And finally, provide direction to the end user on system use, scheduling, and maintenance. Next up is our certified agricultural irrigation specialist. These individuals understand surface irrigation methods and pressurized systems, including micro irrigation and sprinklers. And I'm going to be going into this a little bit later regarding what can be seen at the 2015 Irrigation Show. Evaluate crops and determine water availability and use requirements. Understand soil-plant water relationships and how salinity affects irrigation. Select the most effective irrigation methods and equipment for the application, as well as develop efficient and cost-effective irrigation schedules that meet the crop's water requirements. So as you can see, the Irrigation Association is involved in all aspects of irrigation, from education to certification. But why are we so interested in how water is used in irrigation, and why do we have the Irrigation Show each year to promote the most effective and efficient use of water? Well, let's look at how water is used in agricultural irrigation. First, globally, agricultural water use accounts for 70% of fresh water withdrawals. Today, there are approximately 7 billion people on the planet, and that 70% of freshwater withdrawals helps produce the food required for those 7 billion people. However, in the year 2050, there will be approximately 9 billion people on the planet. We are balancing a global human right to water in the context of the right to a sustainable food supply. There is going to be no more water available in the year 2050 than there is today to produce the amount of food, feed, fuel, and fiber for the amount of people living on our planet. Therefore, in 2050, 70% more food will be needed globally. This translates to up to 100% more food in developing nations. So if you are either in a developing nation or produce food for a developing nation, this means a lot for your agricultural producers. This chart was taken from the United Nations. In it, you will see the green bars represent rain-fed agriculture, those producers who do not use irrigation, and the blue is irrigated agriculture. So in the year 1961, there was almost 1,400 million hectares worth of cropland globally. In the year 2008, this has only gone up a little bit. But the amount of irrigation has increased slightly from 1,200 million hectares, rain-fed agriculture has remained about the same from 1,200 million hectares to 1,200 million hectares, whereas irrigated agriculture has risen slightly. You can see in the black bar that starts in 1961, this accounts for approximately 0.45 hectare per person globally in 1961. This decreases to in between 0.2 and 0.25 hectare per person in 2008. This means we need to be much more productive with our land that is available to us in order to provide the amount of food, feed, fuel, and fiber needed for humans to survive. So let's talk about the Irrigation Show in 2015, which is held in Long Beach, California. As I mentioned earlier on in this webinar, we have a lasting relationship with the United States Department of Commerce and their International Buyer Program to make this opportunity available globally to those interested in attending the Irrigation Show. This year's Irrigation Show is going to be in lovely Long Beach, California, which is just outside of Los Angeles in Southern California. You can see there a picture of Long Beach as well as a map of California on where exactly Long Beach is. So it's very accessible for those flying into Los Angeles, California to drive that short distance to Long Beach for the 2015 Irrigation Show. So let's first talk about what folks will see at the Irrigation Show. We are the largest trade show focused on irrigation globally. And one of the biggest things we do is showcase the latest irrigation technologies available in the marketplace. So what do those irrigation technologies look at? So first is surface irrigation. You can see here some pictures of surface irrigation. This includes flood irrigation and furrow irrigation utilized. Now, historically, this has been a pretty inefficient use of water. There are ways to make it more efficient, and because this is globally the most used method of irrigation throughout many nations, there are many opportunities to become more efficient with your water use through simple technologies and techniques which are showcased at the Irrigation Show. Next up is center pivot irrigation. You can see here 4 types of center pivot in use. They include valley irrigation, Lindsay irrigation, Reinke irrigation, and T&L irrigation. As the 4 primary manufacturers, they'll be showcased at the Irrigation Show. One of the unique things that we will showcase, however, is how the sprinklers are used and different sprinklers available within each method of center pivot and linear irrigation. So you can see here in the pictures of the center pivots where the water is dispersed and emitted by each machine is through a sprinkler. And each sprinkler has different methods of conveying that water to the plants. And you will be able to see at the Irrigation Show the most efficient and effective ways to increase productivity, the crops that are grown, through these different types of irrigation methods. And finally, is drip micro irrigation. You can see here a map that is shown, a diagram shown by one of our members, Jane Irrigation, who will be participating in the 2015 Irrigation Show, about drip micro irrigation. Drip and micro irrigation is a newer form of irrigation on the marketplace. And in this method, water is emitted through tubes or tape that are either on the surface or under the surface of the crops that are grown. Basically, applying the water directly to the roots of the plant. You can see here another diagram by Toro Irrigation, who will also be exhibiting at our show, the different ways of hose and emitters, drip lines, etc. that are used in a typical drip system layout. And finally, you can see here a drip system that is employed here in the United States, growing the crops through efficient drip and micro irrigation. We also have a new product contest where we showcase the newest technologies each year, and these products participate in a contest that is judged by a panel of judges on who will win the new product contest for that year. It showcases cutting-edge technologies and product innovations, as well as including products in agricultural, landscape, golf, lighting, and rainwater catchment. This is a great way for people who are walking the trade show floor to see the latest irrigation technologies that are used globally and speak with those manufacturers who make the products on how these products are used in an agricultural setting. You can see here a picture of the new product contest in action, where folks who are attending the Irrigation Show get to see these products firsthand, many times for the first time, as many of these products have just made it into the marketplace. Here's a picture of the entrance to the Irrigation Show floor, which shows the scope and magnitude of the show and what's displayed. Again, one of the walkways to the Irrigation Show floor, showcasing the amount of people who attend, talking with those folks, those manufacturers who are displaying the latest irrigation technologies available. We have many classes available, both on the trade show floor and off the trade show floor, for those interested in learning more about the trade of irrigation and how to be the most efficient when it comes to design, installation, and maintenance on irrigation systems and machines. And finally, we have fun things to do as well, including an opening night reception for everyone in town to come together and enjoy themselves before the trade show begins, and a closing night reception as well to celebrate the trade show and what was seen and discussed during the event. I want to quickly show you a video of some of the highlights of the 2014 Irrigation Show and what folks can expect in 2015. So as you can see, we have a lot of fun at these trade shows, and there's a lot of opportunities for folks who attend to see the latest and greatest irrigation technologies available. I want to talk a little bit about the International Buyer Program and our partnership with the United States Department of Commerce. This partnership opens the door for international attendees to come and experience the irrigation show in an easy and manageable fashion. So first, the program allows you to register for the 2015 Irrigation Show, makes travel arrangements, locates products you may be interested in purchasing, and sets up meetings with U.S. businesses. So it's really easy on the planning stage for your interested parties to attend the conference. What's available to attendees? First, a free full registration to the Irrigation Show, more than 300 exhibits for irrigation and related products, recent market introductions at the new product contest, the opening night party and closing night reception open to all international visitors, exhibitor, and other attendees, seminars and technical sessions on water regulations, climate change, and precision drip and sprinkler, including surface irrigation, and the Irrigation Association Drought Summit, which is going to be addressing both agricultural and turf landscape irrigation issues facing the western states during this drought. Many of you are experiencing drought now. Many of you may not be experiencing drought, but have just gotten out of drought. Or many of you are experiencing the front end of drought, where you are preparing yourselves to have a shortage of water. This summit, which is going to be held on November 13th, will look at how the United States, specifically those in the West, states like California, Nevada, etc., are facing drought, and how irrigation is coping during drought, and how it is seen as a solution rather than a problem with low water supply. The 2015 Irrigation Show will also feature an International Business Center located on the show floor. It's going to be staffed by international trade specialists from the U.S. Department of Commerce that will provide computer stations with internet access, lounge seating for relaxing and networking, private meeting rooms, and matchmaking services for international attendees and the exhibitors that are exhibiting during the Irrigation Show. Not mentioned here are some other activities as well. We are in the process of putting together a tour of a local facility that will showcase efficient irrigation in action, and this is only open to those participating through the International Buyer Program. More information about this tour will be available when it is finalized. So the 2015 Irrigation Show and Education Conference is held November 10th through 13th, 2015 in Long Beach, California. The website is www.irrigationshow.org. From there, you'll be able to find more information about the different educational opportunities, the trade show itself, the general session, which will highlight some of the latest irrigation technologies, the new product contest, and the International Buyer Program and activities available to our international attendees. Finally, who should you contact for more information? My name is John Farner with the Irrigation Association. My email address is johnfarner@irrigation.org. And my colleague with the U.S. Department of Commerce, Glenn Roberts, who is a Director of Global Markets in the Fresno, California office, and his email address is glen.roberts@trade.gov. Thank you very much for listening in on this webinar. If you have any questions about the Irrigation Show, please feel free to contact either one of us. Be more than happy to walk you through, or folks in your area through, the highlights of the Irrigation Show, what they can expect if they attend, and any other questions you may have. Thank you very much for participating, and I hope to see you in Long Beach this November.